Wolfberry is one of those fruits that existed quietly for thousands of years before suddenly erupting into global consciousness with the force of a modern health trend. Today, it sits on nutritional product shelves, smoothie ads, protein bar packaging, cosmetic formulas, tea infusions, vitamin gummies, and even skincare serums. Yet for most of its life, wolfberry was simply the dried red fruit used in village soups, medicinal concoctions, and herbal infusions in Western China and parts of Central Asia. When people hype it today, they assume it's brand new, exotic, or recently discovered. The truth is the opposite. Wolfberry is old. Very old. Ancient text level old. The earliest written references appear in classical Chinese medical records dating back more than 2,000 years. In traditional medical philosophy, the fruit was believed to strengthen the kidneys, nourish the blood, improve eyesight, and support longevity. Whether these claims were exaggerated, misinterpreted through ancient metaphysical frameworks, or surprisingly accurate, is a topic modern scientists still explore. However, what's undeniable is that wolfberry earned symbolic presence in Chinese culture for its perceived ability to preserve vitality. Wolfberry comes from shrubs in the genus Lycium, mainly Lycium barbarum and Lycium chinense. These shrubs thrive in dry, sandy, alkaline soil, which makes regions like Ningxia and Gansu ideal cultivation zones. The berries themselves grow small, oval, bright red to reddish-orange, and develop a translucent outer skin. Fresh ones taste mildly sweet and watery. The dried ones, iconic in the global marketplace, concentrate their sugar, giving them a raisin-like texture with a sharper sweetness. The naming confusion happened when Western markets adopted wolfberry under a different label, Goji Berry. Wolfberry is simply the literal English translation of the botanical naming tradition. Goji, on the other hand, emerged from a transliterated adaptation of the regional pronunciation, often tied to Guqi, the Chinese word for the plant's berries. When marketers realized Goji sounded more mystical, modern, wellness-adjacent, and aesthetically commercial, the Goji brand identity took over. So today, when people say wolfberry, they usually mean Goji. The same fruit, different packaging. Nutritional analysis of wolfberry is where the hype begins to make sense. The fruit contains extraordinarily high carotenoid concentrations, especially zeaxanthin, a compound strongly linked to eye health. Wolfberry is also dense in vitamin C, iron, polysaccharides, and antioxidants measurable under ORAC indexes. The polysaccharide profile is especially interesting. Its molecular chains carry bioactive potential and have been studied in immunology, oxidative stress regulation, and metabolism. None of this necessarily validates immortality-style claims, but it explains why the fruit stands out among dried fruits nutritionally. Wolfberry also occupies an unusual midpoint between food and medicine. In traditional frameworks, it was not eaten like candy but introduced through functional preparation, boiling in tonic soups, immersion in hot water for medicinal teas, or pairing with chrysanthemum, licorice root, and jujube fruit. In modern kitchens, the fruit has migrated into smoothie bowls, yogurt toppings, cereal blends, cocktail garnishes, and high-end chocolate products. The evolution is striking, ancient medicinal garnish right pointing arrow hips to health accessory. Economically, wolfberry underwent a global explosion from the mid-2000s onward. Western branding campaigns leaned heavily into exotic symbolism, anti-aging rhetoric, and antioxidants as if they were mythical properties. Suddenly, the fruit acquired superfood status and its price soared much higher than historically justified. Villages that dried wolfberries for local medicinal commerce suddenly found themselves part of export chains to Los Angeles, London, Singapore, and Dubai. Farmers scaled production rapidly, drying facilities industrialized, quality grading systems emerged. One overlooked aspect of wolfberry is its agricultural resilience. The shrubs tolerate low irrigation, harsh winter cycles, and long drought periods, which is why the fruit represents a cultural symbol in its native geography. A plant that thrives in unforgiving terrain becomes metaphorically associated with perseverance, health, and spiritual longevity. Modern scientific debate questions whether its claimed benefits translate linearly into measurable health outcomes. Some studies confirm antioxidant benefits, others show improved macular pigment density, others suggest positive immune modulation. Yet large-scale clinical evidence remains incomplete. And this is where wolfberry reveals its identity. It is not a miracle food that rewrites biology. It's a nutrient-dense ancestral fruit whose value is reinforced by culture, observed effects, and sustained traditional usage. What truly elevates wolfberry is not the chemical profile alone, but its narrative. It is a fruit tied to centuries of herbal wisdom, ritual consumption, and health-focused symbolism. It represents the intersection of ancient dietary philosophy and present-day nutritional science. Few foods walk that line with equal weight. The fruit remains globally relevant because it legitimately satisfies multiple functions: tasty snack, nutritional supplement, symbolic longevity ingredient, and versatile ingredient in smoothies, baked goods, teas, and savory dishes. Wolfberry is not an empty trend, it is an ancient agricultural artifact finally amplified through modern branding. In a world filled with flashy health claims, wolfberry stands somewhere in the middle, not pure hype, not pure miracle, but an undeniably valuable fruit whose reputation was never invented, merely rediscovered.